Heavenly Father, another morning has come, and I'm grateful to meet it with you before anything else claims my attention. Yesterday is behind me now, whatever it held, and today is entirely its own, full of mercy I haven't used yet, opportunities I haven't met yet, grace that is once again completely fresh. Thank you for that. Thank you for a God who doesn't simply extend yesterday's leftovers into today, but genuinely renews everything, morning after morning, without fail. Thank you for sleep that restored me, for a body ready to move through today, for a mind clear enough to pray before the noise of the day fully arrives. This is the day you have made. I choose to meet it with you, rather than simply reacting to whatever it throws at me first. I praise you because your character doesn't shift depending on what day of the week it is. You were faithful yesterday, whether it was easy or hard, and you are exactly as faithful this morning. I don't have to wonder if today gets a lesser version of your presence just because it isn't the beginning of a new week. Every single morning carries the same full measure of your mercy, freely given, not rationed out, more generously on some days than others, not held back on the ones that feel less significant than the days surrounding them. I think about how easy it would be to let today simply blend into an undistinguished blur of ordinary weekday mornings, rushing from sleep into obligation, without ever really marking this specific day as its own gift. I don't want to do that. Today, whatever it holds, however unremarkable it might look on the calendar, is a day you have given me on purpose, and I want to receive it that way, rather than just moving through it, half present. You have carried me through every day I have ever lived, and I have no real reason to think today will be the exception. That track record steadies me this morning, even before I know exactly what the day will bring. I think about how many mornings I have woken up without giving that faithfulness a second thought, simply moving straight into the demands of the day, as though waking up itself were guaranteed rather than given. It never actually was. Every morning I have ever had was a gift, not an entitlement. And I don't want to take this one for granted simply because it's an ordinary day, easy to move through without much reflection, easy to file away as forgettable before it has even properly begun. I'm grateful this morning for things I don't usually pause to name. A body that got me out of bed, a mind clear enough to plan the day ahead, a home to wake up in, however ordinary it might seem most days. These aren't small things, even though I treat them as background noise most mornings. Today, I want to notice them as the gifts they actually are before the day's momentum sweeps me past the noticing entirely. I'm grateful, too, for the specific day ahead, even the parts I'm not particularly excited about, because I trust that you have purpose even in the ordinary and the mundane. I don't have to feel enthusiastic about every task to trust that you can use even the unremarkable parts of today for something good, something I might not be able to see clearly from this early morning vantage point, something that may only make sense much later, if it ever fully makes sense to me at all. Before I move further into today, Lord, I want to be honest with you about how I'm approaching it. I confess that some mornings, especially ones that don't carry the obvious fresh start feeling of a Monday, I move through them with less intentionality, treating them as filler between more significant days instead of as their own complete gift. Forgive me for the mornings I've rushed past without really acknowledging you first. I confess whatever residue from yesterday I'm still carrying this morning. Unresolved frustration, unfinished tasks, a conversation that didn't sit right with me, tiredness that didn't fully lift overnight. I don't want to pretend I'm starting today with a completely clean slate if I'm actually not. I bring the real state of my heart to you honestly, trusting you to meet me exactly there, rather than in some idealized version of readiness I don't actually feel. I confess the anxious thoughts already trying to take hold this morning about today's responsibilities, about people I need to deal with, about whether I have the energy this day is going to require of me. I confess that I sometimes let those first anxious thoughts set the tone for the whole day, instead of deliberately choosing to let your presence be the first thing I turn toward. Forgive me, too, for the moments I've treated ordinary weekdays as less significant than the more obviously symbolic ones, as though only Mondays or Sundays deserve real intentionality, and the days in between can simply be endured. Every day you give me carries the same weight of opportunity and the same measure of your presence. Help me stop unconsciously ranking my days by how symbolically significant they feel, and start meeting each one, including this ordinary day, with the same full attention. I surrender today to you now, completely, before its shape has even become clear. Not my will, but yours be done, in whatever this day turns out to actually hold. I confess, too, that I sometimes treat ordinary weekdays like this one as though they matter less than the more clearly marked days. The Mondays, the Sundays, the days that carry obvious significance. But today is not a lesser day, simply because it doesn't come with a built-in narrative of fresh starts or rest. It is its own complete day, worthy of the same intentionality I try to bring to the days that feel more symbolically important, worthy of being lived rather than simply logged as one more entry on a long, undifferentiated list. I confess the quiet comparison that sometimes creeps in on ordinary mornings, measuring today against an imagined easier version of it, resenting the routine nature of tasks that other people's lives seem to lack. That comparison has never once made today easier. It has only made me more discontent with the one you've actually given me to live. Help me release any anticipatory frustration I'm carrying into today. Irritation at people I haven't even spoken to yet. Dread about situations that haven't actually happened. I don't want to walk into today having already decided, before it even begins, exactly how difficult or how tedious it will be. Let me meet today as it actually is, not as my anxious imagination has already scripted it to be. Now, Father, I ask you to fill me with strength for today, not yesterday's strength, worn thin by whatever demands it made, but today's strength, given fresh, exactly matched to what these next hours will actually require. I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. And I need that promise to be true this morning, in the specific, concrete hours ahead of me, not just as an abstract idea I recite, without expecting it to hold up under real pressure. Quiet, whatever low-grade anxiety is already stirring this morning. Help me approach today's tasks, ordinary as some of them might be, from a place of genuine steadiness rather than scattered urgency. You will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is fixed on you, because that mind trusts in you. I fix my mind on you now, deliberately, before today's momentum has a chance to carry my attention somewhere else entirely. I ask for clarity today, the ability to see what actually matters among everything competing for my attention, rather than getting pulled into every small urgency as though it deserved equal weight. Give me wisdom to prioritize wisely, to recognize what can wait and what genuinely can't, without letting anxiety inflate the importance of things that aren't actually as pressing as they feel in the moment. I ask for physical and emotional stamina to match whatever today actually requires, even on a morning that might not feel like the most naturally energized one. Renew my strength the way you renew the strength of those who wait on you, so that I don't find myself running on empty well before the day is actually finished. I ask, too, for patience with people who might frustrate me today, with tasks that take longer than expected, with my own limitations when I inevitably fall short of whatever standard I've quietly set for myself. Help me hold today loosely enough that its inevitable friction doesn't completely undo the peace I'm asking for right now. I think about how quickly a single frustrating moment can color an entire day if I let it. One delay or one difficult interaction somehow becoming the lens through which I view everything else that happens afterward. Help me resist that today. Let a hard moment simply be a hard moment, contained to itself, rather than something I allow to bleed into every hour that follows it. I ask for resilience, specifically for the parts of today I already suspect will be difficult. If there's a task I've been putting off, give me the focus to finally address it instead of letting it loom over the whole day as something to dread. If there's a conversation I'm anxious about, give me the right words and a settled heart to deliver them. If it's simply an ordinary day with an ordinary amount of friction, give me the steady endurance to move through it without either rushing carelessly or dragging unnecessarily. Help me not measure today only by how much I accomplish. Let me also measure it by whether I stayed close to you throughout it, whether I treated people with genuine kindness, whether I responded to stress with something closer to your character than my own quickest instincts. A full task list that leaves no room for those things isn't actually the kind of day I want to have, however productive it might look from the outside. I ask for physical resilience too, Lord. A body able to keep pace with today without breaking down by mid-afternoon. Help me make good choices around rest, food, and pacing today, so my own decisions support rather than undermine the strength I'm asking you for this morning. Lord, I don't know everything today will bring, but I trust you already do, and that you are already present in every hour of it before I even arrive there myself. You will go before me, and you will be with me. You will never leave me nor forsake me. Whatever meetings, conversations, or tasks I'm facing today, I am not walking into any of them without you. I ask for your guidance in the decisions today will require, even the small, seemingly insignificant ones that quietly shape the overall direction of a life over time. In all my ways, help me acknowledge you, trusting that you will make my path straight, even through a day that might look, on the surface, entirely unremarkable. I ask for your presence specifically in whatever part of today feels most difficult right now. A task I've been avoiding, a conversation I'm dreading, a person I'm not looking forward to dealing with. Whatever it is, meet me there, I don't need it to simply vanish from my schedule. I need to know I won't be facing it alone. I also ask for your presence in the unremarkable stretches of today. The commute, the routine tasks, the quiet in-between moments that make up most of an ordinary day. Teach me to notice you there too, not only in the significant or dramatic moments, but in the steady, quiet rhythm of an average day. Give me eyes to notice good things as they happen today, rather than only recognizing them in hindsight tonight. A kind word, a task that goes more smoothly than expected, an unexpected small mercy. Let me actually notice these in real time, rather than moving through today so quickly that I miss them entirely. I think about how differently today can feel depending on what I'm actively watching for in it. If I go into today scanning for what might go wrong, I will almost certainly find it. Because there is always something in any given day that could be read as evidence of trouble. But if I go into today watching for your hand, your provision, your small mercies, I suspect I'll find just as much evidence of that instead. Help me choose this morning, deliberately and on purpose, what I'm actually looking for as I move through the hours ahead. I ask for your guidance, specifically in how I use my time today. Help me resist the temptation to fill every moment with distraction, and instead move through today's hours with a sense of purpose, even in the ordinary tasks. Show me where I'm tempted to waste time out of avoidance rather than genuine rest, and give me the discipline to redirect that time toward what actually matters rather than toward whatever requires the least effort in the moment. I ask, too, for discernment about the people I'll interact with today. Give me wisdom to know when to speak and when to simply listen, when to offer help and when to let someone handle something on their own, when to gently push back, and when to let something go entirely. These small relational judgment calls add up over the course of a day, and I want to make them with your wisdom rather than my own instinctive reactions, which have been wrong before and will likely be wrong again if I lean on them alone. Help me stay present today rather than mentally living in tomorrow's tasks or yesterday's regrets. Today has its own portion, its own opportunities, its own challenges, and I don't want to miss what's actually in front of me, because my mind is somewhere else entirely. Father, I think about the kind of person I want to be today, not simply the tasks I hope to complete. Help me be patient where I'm tempted toward irritability. Help me be generous where I'm tempted toward self-protection. Help me listen well instead of simply waiting for my turn to speak. Let the fruit of your Spirit actually shape how I move through today, not remain something I only describe about myself in theory. I ask for opportunities today to genuinely encourage someone else, even in small, unremarkable ways. Let me not be so consumed by my own responsibilities that I miss chances to notice someone who's struggling, to offer a kind word, to simply be present with someone who needs it. I don't want to move through this entire day thinking only of myself, so focused on my own list that I fail to notice the people actually around me while I work through it. Help me represent you well today, Lord, not through some performance of flawless behavior, but through genuine, ordinary faithfulness, showing up honestly, treating people with real respect, doing my work with integrity, whether or not anyone specifically notices. Let today, in its own small and unremarkable way, reflect who you are however imperfectly I manage it. That reflection doesn't require a dramatic day to shine through. It simply requires a willing, ordinary heart, showing up faithfully in whatever the day actually is. I also ask for the discipline to actually pause today, even briefly, rather than letting the entire day pass without another moment of conscious connection to you. Help me remember, sometime midway through today, to check in with you again. Not because you need reminding, but because I do. I don't want this morning prayer to be the only moment today I actually think of you. I think about how quickly the momentum of an ordinary day can carry me completely away from any sense of your presence, even after starting well. By this afternoon, I've often forgotten this exact moment entirely, swept up in whatever has claimed my attention since. Help me build small anchors into today, a brief pause before a meal, a moment of quiet between tasks, that pull my attention back to you throughout the day, not only at its beginning and end. I want today to be different from the days I simply let slip by unnoticed. One indistinguishable day, blurring into the next, until an entire season has passed, without my really being present for any of it. Help me actually inhabit today, rather than just getting through it on the way to whatever I imagine will be more significant later. I also want today to be marked by genuine gratitude, rather than the low hum of complaint that ordinary weekdays sometimes invite almost automatically, simply because they're not special or exciting in any obvious way. Help me resist treating an unremarkable day as something to merely tolerate. Let me instead receive it as exactly what it is. Another day you have given me, worth genuine thanks rather than passive endurance. No less valuable simply because nothing about it will make it onto a calendar of significant dates. I think about how much my own attitude shapes the atmosphere around me today, for better or worse. If I move through today with a low-grade complaint already running in the background, I will likely carry that same energy into every interaction I have. But if I move through it with real gratitude, even imperfectly held, that will shape today just as powerfully for myself and for everyone I encounter. Help me choose gratitude deliberately this morning, not because everything is easy, but because gratitude and honesty about difficulty were never actually opposites. Let me also remember today that I'm not meant to carry it entirely on my own. Whatever pressure or expectation I'm placing on myself this morning, remind me throughout the day that you are present in it as much as I am. And I want to genuinely lean on that, rather than simply believing it in theory while functioning as though everything depends solely on my own effort. Before I move fully into today, Father, I bring before you everyone else beginning this day alongside me. I think of those facing a day that holds more genuine difficulty than mine, hard news to process, decisions with real weight, grief that doesn't take a day off, simply because the calendar has moved on. Be their strength today in a way that exceeds anything I could offer through this prayer. I lift up those adjusting to new circumstances this week, uncertain and still finding their footing. Give them courage and a genuine sense of your presence as they navigate what's unfamiliar. I lift up students, workers facing demanding tasks, and parents managing another full day of care with little space to rest themselves. I pray for those whose today holds real hardship, financial pressure, health concerns, relationships under real strain. Meet them exactly where they are today. the same way I'm asking you to meet me. And let them sense, even in small ways, that they have not been forgotten in the middle of what they're carrying. And I pray for anyone beginning today, already worn down, running on very little, facing the hours ahead with more dread than anticipation. Give them small mercies throughout the day that make the load lighter than it would otherwise be. And remind them, the way I'm asking you to remind me, that they are not facing today alone. I think of those who dread ordinary weekdays for reasons that have nothing to do with the day itself. Difficult coworkers, unreasonable demands, environments that genuinely wear them down day after day, regardless of which day of the week it happens to be. Be especially near to them this morning. Give them small reprieves through the day, moments of unexpected ease in what otherwise feels relentless. I pray for parents managing another ordinary morning. The particular chaos of getting everyone fed, dressed, and out the door on time. Again, without much acknowledgement for how much steady effort that actually takes. Give them patience for the small frustrations and energy for the long day still ahead of them. I pray for those facing today with a heavy heart for reasons that have nothing to do with the calendar. Grief that doesn't observe weekdays. Anxiety about something specific that today didn't cause, but that today's structure now forces them to face regardless. Meet them in whatever they're carrying, entirely apart from the ordinary stress of a weekday. I pray for healthcare workers, first responders, and anyone whose today looks nothing like a typical routine. Those working through the night, those already exhausted from demanding schedules most people don't have to navigate. Give them strength that matches the unusual demands of their day, and rest whenever they're finally able to find it. I pray, too, for those who are unemployed or between jobs, for whom an ordinary weekday carries its own particular weight. Not the reluctance of returning to work, but the uncertainty of another day without it. Give them peace in the waiting and reassurance that their worth was never tied to their employment status. As I move into this day, Father, I want to carry this morning's peace with me, rather than leaving it behind the moment I step into my first task. Whatever today brings, ordinary or unexpected, I trust that you are already present in it, already working, already aware of every detail before I encounter it myself. Thank you for this new day. Thank you for mercy made fresh again this morning. Not because I earned a clean start, but because that has always simply been who you are toward me. Thank you for going before me into hours I haven't lived yet, and for promising to remain with me through every one of them. I commit this entire day to you now. My time, my tasks, my conversations, my attitude, my energy. Use today, ordinary as it might seem, for whatever purpose you have in it. And let me end this day tonight, able to look back and see your hand in it, even in the parts that felt completely unremarkable while I was living through them. I don't know exactly what today will require of me, but I know it won't require anything you and I can't handle together, the same way every day before this one didn't, even the hardest ones. Whatever rhythm this week continues to settle into, I trust that your presence will remain as constant tomorrow as it is right now, unaffected by how ordinary or eventful any single day turns out to be, and unshaken by whatever mood I happen to bring into it. Let this day matter, Lord, not because it's remarkable, but because it's mine, given to me by you. worth living fully rather than simply getting through. Whatever the hours ahead hold, I want to meet them awake, present, and genuinely grateful, rather than half-conscious and merely waiting for the day to end. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for walking into this day with me before I've even taken the first step into it myself. Let this day, unremarkable as it may seem on any calendar, still be one I look back on tonight and recognize as a day genuinely lived with you rather than simply survived. In Jesus' name, amen.